is Jana Lesh for LADWP, and I work at the Harbor Generating Station. The work that I was doing just prior to this was in education. I had a coworker who was looking for new employment, and I had suggested to her that she apply for this job. And I honestly just took the test to be there for my friend. And it turns out that I did really well. And I thought to myself, I'll give it a try. I was working in education at the time. It was summer. I knew that if I started and didn't like it, in the fall I could just go back to education. And I figured, why not? And it turns out I loved it. It's the most rewarding work that I've ever done, and I can't imagine going back to anything else. Working in skilled trades was a midlife transition for me. I had worked for many years in other fields, mostly part-time, because I had also been a stay-at-home mom. And so when I made this transition, I was really nervous about it. It wasn't work that I was familiar with. It wasn't technologies that I was familiar with. It was a whole new industry. I had worked a little bit with my dad just around the house. He was a tradesperson, and so he would let us help out, and I just existed in this world where the trades were really important. I figured, okay, I could at least give it a try. This is certainly a non-traditional place for a woman to work. Here in the power plants, we're about 4% female. Women tend not to even consider that this is work that they might enjoy, that they have the physical ability to perform. You know, I was nervous about my own ability to perform this work, and I realized that's not the case at all. In fact, there is rarely a job that I don't have the physical ability to perform, and just as often, there are jobs that I'm put on specifically because I'm a smaller person and can fit in tight places. And so just as often as my size is a limitation, it also is a benefit. So one of the biggest challenges I've had to face as a woman in a non-traditional role is actually self-doubt. You know, convincing myself that I can do this, that I am the right person for the job, that I'm just as competent as any of my peers. So one of the difficulties that I've had is nomenclature. There's a lot of terminology that I simply am not familiar with. And then there's also, I don't think that people realize how often they use analogies that they assume are universal, but in fact are not universal. And so sometimes I'm having to do a lot of research on this superheroes because that's the analogy someone used, and I'm just not familiar with that world. When I started, I assumed that I was going to need to spend a lot of energy convincing people that I was strong enough and competent enough and could perform this work. And it turns out that wasn't the case at all. My coworkers don't dismiss me because I am a woman. They consider me perfectly teachable. And it's not a matter of needing to convince anyone. I'm part of a crew and I'm part of the team. I have overcome that by using tuition reimbursement and seeking out education beyond what is required in my role, which has helped me understand the systems better and understand the work that the people that I'm interacting with are performing. I would tell women who are currently performing administrative work, office work, that those skills translate very well. We need to have computer skills. We need to be organized. We need to pay attention to process. And yes, we do perform physical work, but that is just a small part of the work that we perform. I am incredibly proud to work at DWP. I am proud to perform work that people consider unconventional for a woman, and I'm proud to serve my community and perform roles that help ensure that the people of Los Angeles have electricity that is as reliable and as environmentally friendly as is technologically possible. So we are seriously underrepresented in skilled trade positions, and women can play a critical role in filling the staffing gaps that we have. Something like 50% of the workplace is supposed to retire within the next 10 years. We need everyone, and that includes women.